Welcome back to AGDQ 2015. I'm your host, Spike Vachita, and once again, this is AGDQ 2015. I real quick want to give a big shout outs to K-Mac, JC at Ohone, three of the, in my opinion, best speedrunners in the world, getting to put on that display of skill for Castlevania 3. Coming up next, we have got the first of a couple of four-way races. For AGDQ, we have got Super Castlevania IV. Make sure you stick around for this one. This one's going to be super hype. This is in many ways, some people might consider the speed game of 2014. A lot of new tech has been found for this, including some tricks. So make sure to stick around for that. We'd like to remind you guys that the tracker is still down for right now, but we'd like to thank you guys for already raising well over $200,000 for the charity. So great job. Big shout outs to you guys. To give you a little bit of the idea for an idea for the hype for this race, these are four of the absolute best runners in the world. I believe they have the four highest personal bests or PBs for this game. They're all within 20 seconds of one another, so it should be pretty crazy. And while they're setting up all four runners, I want to remind you guys what we're raising money for. We're raising money for the same thing we've been raising money for the last 5 years for, the Prevent Cancer Foundation. To explain a little bit about them, the Prevent Cancer Foundation is the only nonprofit in the United States that solely focuses on cancer prevention and early detection. Each year, more than 1.6 million Americans alone are diagnosed with this disease, and more than 500,000 die from the disease. However, research shows that up to 60% of cases and more than 50% of deaths are preventable with what we know now. The Prevent Cancer Foundation focuses their efforts into research, education, outreach, and advocacy, with over $138 million invested over the last 29 years. And while we're here, I'd also like to go ahead and plug what our communities are. Games Done Quick. Awesome Games Done Quick is a Games Done Quick event held every year in January, featuring members of the Speed Demos Archive and Speedrun's live communities. I'd also like to throw in there to make sure every year to also check out Summer Games Done Quick, run by Rom Scout and his crew, going on every single, in the summertime. So that's all I can promise you there. The two sub-communities of the Games Done Quick community, we have SDA. SDA proudly hosts speedruns of over 1,000 games with forums containing speedrunning, planning, and marathon discussions. SDA welcomes gamers old and new alike. You can follow them on Twitter at SDA Speedruns and visit their website at speedrunsarchive.com. I would also like to give a shout out to SRL. SRL, or Speedruns Live, is the best site to race video games online against other players of all skill levels. They're also hosting a short series of races starting January 17th. And this is big. Starting January 17th, they're hosting races that will be titled Get Yourself Speedrunning. You can go to their front page at speedrunslive.com for more information and to watch a variety of speedrun streams. To give you guys a quick note, myself and my good buddy Golden, we will be hosting those three races. And it'll be races of Super Mario Bros. 3, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And again, all skill levels are invited. So those are going to be a ton of fun. We generally we've been getting over 100 people into those races. You've got everyone from world record holder to people who've never played the game before. And to not doubt yourself that you can get in, just have a lot of fun and see why we like this hobby so much. AGDQ 2015 is sponsored by Something Artistic, World 9 Gaming, Tiny Build, Humble Bundle, The Yeti, and Turtle Beach. Also, that was not a voice crack. That is, my voice is dying, so don't judge me too much. But I will say it again, the Humble Bundle. So, shout outs to the Humble Bundle. We also definitely recommend that you guys, anybody watching on Twitch, to also go check out the Games Done Quick website itself, where you can find the schedule, you can donate, you can find other incentives and bidding wars that you can put your money to. As of course you guys already know, every year you can donate for the Super Metroid Save/Kill the Animals, but we also need to raise $75,000 for Runner Guy to do Ocarina of Time Child Dungeons blindfolded. I know you guys want to see that. And many other great donations coming up. And it looks like the site is back, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So get back to donating, see what we got. Let's actually remind you guys a couple other of the bidding wars and donation incentives coming up soon. So the next open donation incentive we actually have is for Rayman Legends, which is coming up about 4 or 5 games from now. Including myself, we'll also have Kane of Patchy, Spare747, and Fearful Ferret, who will be doing a Kung Foot bonus game. It's a really fun, hype soccer game. Takes about 2 minutes. Thank you for the cough drop, Smurfigator. It's a really hype 2-minute soccer game with Rayman Legends physics. Anyone who might know that game, it's gonna be super hype. You guys need to get your donations in for that. So currently, we are only at $527 out of 3,000. So we're gonna need about 2,500. I think you guys can get those in before we get to the run, though. And later tonight, we're also going to have a couple of the 2D Zelda games. For The Legend of Zelda, you can actually donate to choose the file name for the original Legend of Zelda. It's going to be a race for that. Let's see here. Okay, looks like you actually can't use Zelda to note. But for The Legend of Zelda, we've only got a couple of donations there. Blaine TK currently is leading that at $110, while NC Sun has $59. So any of you who would like the Legend of Zelda original file named after you, get in for it. And one final plug while they're setting up. So any of you who might have had the joy of watching the TaskBot block from the first night, any of you who might have been blown away from being a part of the marathon yourself as Twitch chat, they do have a sequel in mind for you guys. If we can raise $30,000 before the end of Final Fantasy VII, it looks like, we will have Pokemon Plays Twitch Part 2. The description I've got right here: if the TaskBot blew your mind earlier in the week, it has one more amazing trick up its sleeve. Using the power of Twitch chat, a Super Nintendo will do something you never thought possible and might change your life forever. Be a part of history as an old console attempts to take over the known universe. We've only got $1,230 raised for that so far. Not a bad chunk of change, but we do need a total of $30,000 to get that. So I'm sure you guys want to see that. That was extremely entertaining. Big shout outs to the TaskBot people for bringing all that to us on the first night. What should I? And one more plug that I actually need to throw out there. Don't worry, I'll shut up soon, I'm sure. A prize that you guys can actually donate for, starting with Castlevania 1 and going into Castlevania 3, by the end of this run, if you donate a minimum of $10, then you will be entered into a drawing to win the prize, the Castlevania Custom NES controllers. It's one of the many prizes thrown down by Rom Scout, big fan of Castlevania series himself, and one of the big-time leaders of the GDQs over the years. So you can actually look at the links of those. Again, just go to gamesdonequick.com, and you can find the link to all of these donation incentives, these bidding wars, and the prizes. In general, a ton of great prizes, and there will be more in the future, obviously, for different blocks. But if you want to get in for those Castlevania Custom NES controllers, just make sure to donate $10 by the end of this run. And this run's going to run probably somewhere in the ballpark of 35 minutes for all 4 runners. So make sure to get them in quick. I've got a $44.44 donation from DBX.
Hola? Okay.
Hi, DBX
Mine's
here.
on, right? Okay.
Good luck to all my
Hello.
Castlevania
Hola.
4 pals. One cycle mummies for all. Kill the animals. Thanks.
Name string, yeah.
we can put just one.
Yeah. And I've got a $20 donation from Mappyland. What is a game? A miserable little pile of ROM code. Good luck to all Castlevania runners.
3, 2, 1, go.
So first thing to point out is that they're playing different versions of the game. All of them except Just Defender playing Akumajo Dracula, the Japanese version. There's no gameplay differences whatsoever. This is still a perfectly fair race. It's all graphical differences, most of which you won't notice unless you're looking for them until you get to stage 8.
So this Castlevania, despite being the easiest casually amongst the classic Castlevania series, is probably the hardest as far as optimizing movement. You can obviously whip in several more directions. You can do lots of the same landing cancel stuff you do in the others. Damage boosts are very important in this game.
Yeah,
you can
each
see
one-
they're already down to like no health.
Because each damage boost, I believe, is about a quarter of a second, half a second or so, and it definitely adds up with how much they're going to be doing it.
Another good thing to point out is like the awesome music this game has, especially in this first level. It is just outstanding.
And then sub-weapon of choice for Castlevania IV is the cross, because the holy water got nerfed really badly after 3, and you can't stack multiple bottles on top of each other. So
So
they're going to be
instead
using
they just
the
let you stack these
Yeah.
like non-stop.
they're going to be using the cross for the whole run.
Yeah.
It is very important to keep in mind that sometimes you need to kill a lot of enemies just to avoid lag. The lag is created by enemies on the screen, by some background transitions.
So this screen here has some pretty cool damage boosts off the Medusa heads, where they're using the omnidirectional
foil,
whip
yeah.
to kind of position them so that they can then boost forward.
Yeah, if they just did a normal whip, it would kill the Medusa heads, and so they need to do the whip flail so it only does half damage and frees them to do the damage boost. It's actually a lot harder than you'd think, even though they make it look easy.
Right. Who's gonna get the best Triforce? Oh, yeah!
Hanage.
Hanage won the Triforce. So there's a little bit of randomness with these hands at the start of stage 2. If one of them grabs you, it just paralyzes you for
Yeah.
a few seconds.
There's actually quite a bit of randomness throughout the game. Stage 1 is pretty set, but stage 2 is pretty set too, except for the hands. And everything after that, though, is just... it can swing to anyone. Boss patterns especially are important. But the first couple stages are pretty straightforward. And they have things they technically call bosses, but not really.
Now when you have triple shot cross, and you know how to time them so that they, well, do what they're about to do to Medusa.
I've got a $40 donation from Dingus5. This money goes towards whatever Just Defend wants in the CD4 race, unless it's Save the Animals. Best of luck, JD. Love, Dingus.
Fortunately, random sub-weapon drops are a non-issue in CB4, so they just need to know which candles to avoid.
So the boss that is gonna be arriving it is Medusa. It has a little bit of randomness, not too much, but we'll see how it goes. So we see hanage was a little bit ahead in that boss fight. Great.
Yeah. That hand normally drains hearts if it touches you, but if you don't have any, you can just walk right through it safely.
During this water section, there is like a flow of the river, so you want to go with that flow, but at certain point it changes the direction, so that is where the Simon is just jumping to avoid being pushed backwards. And very important to keep in mind the health in this section.
These orange spikes are all instant death if you touch them too.
Yeah. Always down to the last pixel.
So we're just arriving to the stage that can change anything in this course of the race.
Yeah.
Very important to...
Because these mudmen that they're about to start running into in stage 3, their movement pattern is random, and whether they move towards or away from you affects whether you can just jump over them or whether you get hit.
It's also very important because if they hit you while they're big, they do 4 damage, as opposed to if you break them apart, they do 3, and that 1 damage makes a big difference in 3 too. Being able to do extra boosts. Alright, that's still good.
Yeah, and even breaking them causes a little bit of lag, as you may notice. So they do like to avoid that at all costs.
So the next block that is coming, the 3-2, it has really awesome visual tricks, like the ring glitch that you will see. It defies the physics of the game. It's really cool.
Hanage is right about to do it. Very nice.
Good call.
Nice.
Very nice.
That jump looks pretty scary too, but a side effect of doing the whip glitch is that it disables the hitboxes of the fuzzies, so you can just clip right through it regardless of where it is.
Yeah, they will be possibly doing that same trick again on this stage as well.
And very important boost here with the eye. Skip that bone dragon down there.
So here Josephine is gonna... Oh.
The mermen spawn patterns have a little randomness, but there's different setups for each possible pattern. Like Gallic Joe got kind of a bad one there.
The same Josephine, because a really bad spawn of the mermaid. And here we will see again in the next section another ring glitch.
Very nice.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Yeah, because of how risky they play with the damage boosts everywhere, it is pretty easy to die if you just make a small mistake. Or even just have a random pattern from an enemy.
Alright, good kill. Good backup strat by JD. And Paul's right in there. Oh boy.
So stage 4 does have the most noticeable glitch that is in the run. When they get to the, I guess you'd call it auto-scrolling section, the rising platform section, they will attempt to get damage boosted into the wall and skip pretty much all of it. It saves about 10 seconds. but it's very hard, and your penalty for missing is dying. So.
Yeah, which costs about 40 seconds if you take a death there.
Everyone told me they were going for it, though. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry, Pauxil. They just are killing you.
Yeah.
Over and over.
Yeah. Oh man.
They don't even hesitate. They just,
No apologies.
yeah.
I made my displeasure known to Joe, though.
Okay, Joe is doing a little bit of swag there.
So this would actually be a great place for some donations
Yes.
too, just because this is an auto scroller where they have to wait for the room to rotate, just because got to show off that cool Mode 7 technology of the Super
Oh yeah,
Nintendo.
this whole stage is a Mode 7 demo.
Yeah.
This is a pretty new
And speedrunners
SNES game,
pay for it
or
because it
a pretty
lags.
early SNES game, I should say.
Well, sure. Let's see what you guys have thrown down. I've got a $15 donation from Thrasher HT. Shoutouts to Just Defend and the rest of the CV4 runners. You guys are the reason I started watching the GDQ events and speedrunning community. Thank you. Also, kill the animals. Got $20 from CP High. Despite being heavily broke, I would show my respect to all the guys and girls who are fighting cancer right now by trying to help out. Every cent counts in the fight against cancer. Put this to Runner Guy's Child Dungeon's blindfolded challenge, please. If you insist, we will.
Okay, this next block that JoeDamillio is in, it is very technical, and you have to basically to don't whip, because in this the moving background is creating a lot of lag every single time you whip. So you try to skip as much as possible hitting any enemy. If this done properly, it's pretty doable. That's why they don't whip at all in this room.
That takes quite a bit of time.
Yeah, all right, so Joe's the first one to get to the zip then. So what he's basically doing here is he's trying to get hit by a bat on the same frame that he gets crushed by the ceiling, and then instead of dying, he zips into the ceiling and lets him get to the end of the auto scroller basically, and it saves about 10 seconds.
Oh, troll bat.
Well,
FuriousPaul trying. Got it.
Paul's got it.
All right, Paul got it.
All right, nice consistency, Paul.
Just to mention in terms of time, what
Yeah,
happened
not as
to
much as dying though.
what happened to JoeDamillio? He lost basically like 50 seconds to 48 seconds by getting boosted down in the glitch. Just Defend, he lost a little bit more time because of the death.
Yeah. Yeah, just
And-
Defend will have to get the cross back.
Yeah.
Hanage is getting
unfortunately, I
to that
don't think Hanage is going to be able to do it since he doesn't have the cross.
Yeah, you need the cross to destroy the bats that troll
Actually,
you.
it is possible to do it without the cross, but it is really hard, and you rely
Nice early.
Nice ball.
Paul got the early orb.
completely in the bad spawns.
On that note, I have a $25 donation from Nazwinger. Be fast and furious, Paul. Too bad you couldn't bring your awesome chair with you.
That was a really sweet kill of Joe.
Yeah.
And honestly, even just the gap between Paul and Joe right now, the final 4 bosses alone, they can make that much of a difference in randomness. So,
Yeah.
And in skill too, if they miss any of the quick
right,
rolls.
yeah.
Oh, right here you see the Harpy luck with Joe spawning too high to kill, so he's got a 3-man on chasing him down.
Does it get a zip?
Will he get the zip? Yes, he did. He got the zip.
I've actually never seen that before.
Yeah.
Just to mention,
I've seen it, but I've never got hit back in this. I usually.
that Hanage fight, it was a pretty awesome one. You know, having another weapon that is not the cross is a really good backup fight he did.
So one good thing though is if you do lose on the zip, the cross is very early in this stage, so you can get your triple cross back.
All right, so Paul's coming up on the chandelier room after this first part of stage 6, which it's probably the second hardest trick in the game after the zip, basically to get the fastest possible chandelier room.
Right. It is possible to do it in one cycle, but it's very tight execution. Oh,
that was an unlucky
troll axe.
So here we have in FuriousPaul another Mode 7 background.
Nope, that's fine. Yeah. When you're doing the chandeliers, you have to really be feeling it. If not, it just wait it out.
Fortunately, it's pretty easy to back out of this if you don't think you're going to get it.
So that was really close of being one cycle chandeliers, but it is pretty tough execution.
Yeah.
It has to be in the perfect shape, and oh my god, well, really close. Very unlucky. Okay, hanage, he got 2 cycle chandeliers.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, unfortunately, dying to the chandeliers is pretty punishing because you have to redo all of 6-1 and then go into a secret area at the start of 6-2 to get your cross back. 'Cause there aren't really any other convenient ways to do so before the next boss.
So close of getting that 1 cycle.
One jump away.
So I really like how FuriousPaul does this room. It is pretty awesome. He just walked there at the end, killing the skeletons. Those red skeletons make 4 of damage, so it's pretty punishing. So this is the coffins part. Very good execution by FuriousPaul there. So one more time in this level in particular, for everyone, you need to kill as many enemies as you can.
Come on, ghosts. Okay. Those dancing ghosts have random spawns. The end of it can be kind of scary if your health's low enough.
And Paul, everyone's favorite boss, Fred Abgul and Paula Scare. Very nice, Paul.
We had a very good execution in just defense side. He did the coffins really well. And again, he's killing some enemies to reduce lag.
And this coffin circle that Hanage is on right now, oh nice, nice. That's a lot harder than it looks as far as getting boosted forward through the coffins instead of getting knocked away.
So the section FuriousPaul is just about to come. It is a pretty downfall jump that he does, skipping a lot of platforms. So luckily you don't die in this this part.
Just jumped a
But
little.
In this next room, they can get a pretty big time saver if they get a lucky pattern from the
Yeah,
axe.
if the knight there throws his low axe, you can use it to damage boost onto the floating book.
Yeah,
the
cuts
book
off
jump?
like a cycle with them.
Very nice, very nice.
Very nice.
And yeah, it jumps pretty much as hard as it looks.
Yeah.
That saves a good 4 or 5 seconds. Not having to wait for the book to float around.
Oh nice, Hanage got the good knight pattern at the start of the 7. So that knight can either move left or right, and if he moves right, he's in your way.
Joe there taking an intentional damage boost.
Josephine got the book jump as well. Really nicely done.
And I'm sure we'll just let the runners keep focusing, but if we ever want to have a roll call from the couch commentators, go for it.
You want to start?
Hanage with a successful book jump as well. And FuriousPaul is gonna fight the knight. He's throwing as many crosses and jumping. And that was a really
good
quick
grackle
kill.
fight.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice ball.
That Sir Grackle does have a weird glitch where if you get him, if he does a swinging animation twice in a row, you can stun lock him where you'll hit him, but he will not take damage. So you want to be careful to avoid that.
I think every speedrunner or non-speedrunner casual player will agree that level 8 is one of the toughest levels.
Oh yeah, this is
Yeah.
So
Everybody that's played this game remembers Stage 8 because everything kills you here in one hit, pretty much. This is also where you'll see the biggest graphical differences between the Japanese and North American versions, too.
Another eye boost
So
here.
FuriousPaul.
Excellent, excellent.
Nice.
I mean, as scary as all of this looks, too, there are even a couple
So
frame
what
perfect
Paul
jumps
just
they
did there
could be
with
trying.
that little delay was he actually caused it so the item killed both the first bone dragon and the second one. And normally it only kills one if you keep moving forward.
Yeah,
Nice.
Good job, JD, also with the eye boost.
Nice.
Nice.
The pixel perfect free.
That was a frame perfect jump there. He just did to save, I think it's like 3 seconds or so in
If
this
you
section.
if you press the jump button for only one frame, he jumps just a little bit lower than normal, so you can squeeze under that masher.
What they're doing, they're basically reusing of the vulnerability frames, and they can, you know, bypass the spikes that normally is one hit kill. Most of these places they have all those spikes, but thanks by taking damage in other parts. Oh my god!
Very
FuriousPaul
nice.
so
Paul
close
taking
to
it
falling
safe.
from that bridge.
Even when you go slow, the bridge is not nice to you.
It's called the Vegas Bridge for a reason. It's total randomness. If you're going for world record, you just have to go and hope that the bridge is there for you.
Nice dish, Paul.
Paul to the clock tower.
Oh.
So unlucky death with Hanage.
Fortunately, if you don't get down there to beat the cycle on those spikes, you can get hit by the breakable part of the stairs to clip through them.
Oh my god. Unlucky death by JoeDamillio.
This is not good.
So stage 9, these breaking platforms have a lot of lag. Like the next stage, or the next room rather, you're gonna see it just slows down to a crawl. And it's actually really hard to not have it drop your input, so you have to be really careful of what
Nagi's
he's
past
doing.
the bridge.
Yeah, Hanage passed the Vegas bridge. He bet and he won.
Yeah, that part of 9-1 where Paul's going through, very treacherous. Even with the crosses, you can easily get knocked back into the pit.
So here it comes a technical part with FuriousPaul, and he got it well, very well done. Also, given the amount of damage, he might try. Oh, one jump, but he went for the meat.
Safety meet.
This is a pretty generous Castlevania game for meat, so definitely helps when you're taking so many damage boosts.
Yeah, it does help. just defend, executing properly the ring section.
Might as well try this. I tried it. I gave it a try.
So FuriousPaul is just about to reach the bat fight. You have to do 23 hits, so it splits into 3 smaller bats. So it's very important to keep the count.
Yeah, because once the bat takes enough damage, it breaks into 3 smaller bats, and they're going to try to position it so that it's just in range of crosses, basically, when that happens, and then they can kill all 3 of them in one round of crosses.
There's one really funny thing about those bats.
Oh, very, very nice strat there.
Somehow, the crosses do more damage to those small bats than the whips. So that is the only place where the crosses do more damage than the whip.
Oh my god, let's get rid of it. There goes my 2 cross.
Unfortunately, if you spawn a multiplier and then don't get it, you have to restart the counter.
There's just defend. Perfect.
Very nice fight.
Very nice strategy.
That was a very optimal fight. And here comes the clock tower. By many people, the best soundtrack of this game.
Wow, those are 2 very tight jumps getting over both those bone pillars by Paul. And one thing also about the clock tower is you really have to collect the hearts that you can, because it's a shorter level, so there's not a lot of hearts available to be able to have the 1 cycle Akmadon fight. So you'll see a lot of
because the
heart
boss
grabbing.
of this stage is the most random in the whole game, pretty much, as far as just how the luck affects how long it takes to kill.
That was another very good fight by Hannah.
Very nice. Oh, very nice.
And that jump is scary as it looks.
Oh.
Here in FuriousPaul side, it's going to be a really nice damage boost of using.
That saves a ton of
Nice.
time.
Nice.
Just want to remind you guys, you only have 10 minutes left in Castlevania block to get in your $10 donations minimum for the Castlevania NES controllers. And again,
Very
thank you to
nice
Ron
A1
Scott
by
for
Paul.
donating those.
So Paul's a
So let's see if the mummy goes on the sides.
Yeah, I've
for
got a
him.
roughly 25% chance to get a mummy pattern that's very favorable to getting a 1 cycle kill. So let's see what we get.
That is a good
Yeah,
cycle.
we need bandages.
Let's see.
Get him, Paul.
Yes,
That is
got
a
the
perfect
bandages.
one.
Yes. Nice job, Paul. Yeah. And that's the hard 1 cycle then, as opposed to getting him on the bottom
Yeah,
left corner.
the
So
bottom
excellent-
one is definitely the
excellent
easier
execution.
1 cycle.
You are the man, Paul.
Nothing's worse than getting the good spawn and then not executing properly.
Alright, see what Just Defend gets.
That's a really bad spawn.
Yeah.
The mummy has 2 different kind of attacks. One is throwing those bandages, another is throwing some fires. He got the bandages, which is... It's okay. Oh, he got another throw spawn.
And on the next screen coming up for Paul, it's probably the hardest boss in the game, the stairs boss, that decides
Yes.
sometimes you aren't stepping up that day.
Yeah. If it wasn't bad enough that sometimes you fall through the stairs, these ones crumble, so if you fall through, you can't get back up.
Hanage got
And a
another
bad spawn for
power.
Hanage too.
Akmadon not playing nice at all.
So Paul's about to get to what's called the Final Four, a boss rush that's at the end of the game. The first boss, Slogra, is probably the most difficult and the most technical of them. It's kind of meant to be an auto-scroller where every time you hit him, he jumps up off screen and then comes down back on top of you. But they're going to be doing a really, really, really cool strategy where they try to overlap their crosses inside his hitbox. And a perfect Slogra fight is 6 cycles with their strat. And it's meant to be like over 20, I think, in a normal fight.
Yeah, because it counts every single cross that's on top of him when he's getting hit.
So what is really important is to have enough hearts. So they will try to enter with around 40 hearts there, and that is a good amount of hearts for the Soldier fight. FuriousPaul was trying a strat that you jump and you spawn one of those rocks earlier, but he didn't do it unluckily. And here is the Soldier fight. This is the biggest hazard of the game.
Nice. Oh, troll.
Aww. Yep, Slogar is a jerk sometimes.
All the time. So. Alright. Still a good fight. Yeah. The most important part of that fight is the cycle where his spear breaks. You want him in the corner, so your crosses overlap twice in a row. You take off like over a quarter of his energy on just that alone.
Due to the amount of damage FuriousPaul took, he had to grab all the meats from those candles just to be able to afford getting hit by the next bosses.
And you'll see on Gaivon and Death, they are throwing crosses before the battle starts to position, or to time rather, the other cross throws. And it'll get an optimal pattern with the movement of the boss to kind of ride along with them.
Oh,
So just the friend got a 7 cycle.
Very nice fight, though.
Very nice. That is really
nice.
good. That is very good.
Yep. And then right here on Death.
See a hanage does.
Yep.
Yep. And this fight with Death, that's,
Very nice.
Yep. That is one of the hardest setups, is that Death fight.
FuriousPaul is just about to reach Dracula. This is Dracula has like 3 different forms. I mean, it's not forms, 3 different patterns.
And of course he does the fireballs instead of that.
An optimal Dracula fight is in 6 cycles, so that is the second attack of Dracula, those fires. And it is not that good if you get it in the second cycle of Dracula.
Yeah. And every 4th spawn by Dracula, he'll be on top of you, so you can manipulate that particular one.
Sometimes you get lucky and you get that meat. In the meantime, we got a really
very nice. Very nice death.
Death fight.
Nice. And then after they kill Death, they also try to save a little bit of time by jumping.
Nice. Good job, Paul.
That was a great run.
Get it right on time.
Yeah, time is when he touches the orb after this cutscene. Wow.
Nice. That is excellent. Solid run. Solid run.
33-18. That's,
Alright, get ready
I
with
believe,
time
over
for
2 minutes
JD.
faster than the world record the last time this game was in GDQ.
Roughly, yeah. So Josephine about to get the orb.
Nice.
And Hanage in the last form of Dracula.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, again with Gaibon, you want to lead your crosses so he flies into them as soon as he becomes vulnerable. Excellent.
Nice.
That's very optimal. So it is worth to mention that most of these boss traps were implemented by Hanage. You know, he really did a deep research of the game, and you know that fight you're seeing is made by Hanage. That was his trap. It is his trap. And
Very nice.
Well executed by Joe.
Nice.
Nice with the Taz, Joe.
Save a little bit of time there by jumping before you get paralyzed by the cutscene.
Let's go, 6 Draco flight.
No, screw that. Go 5.
Yeah, get a crit.
Because why not?
I mean, there is a sizable amount of randomness with what spawn patterns Dracula gives you as far as how many hits you can get with the cross.
That one in the edge is a really bad spawn, but Joe managed to do a lot of damage. That was really good. So it has been 4 cycles so far. 4 health to go. So that's it.
Yeah, follow all 4 of these guys too. They do weekly races of this game that are often really close and exciting.
Yeah, all of them can win at any time. It's amazing how competitive this game is.
Yeah.
You had it already done, JD. You are the man. Not Gabe. You are the man. You are all good. That was a lot of fun. You're the man, Joe.
And with that, we come to the end of Castlevania block. We'd like to give once again just a big shout outs, a big thank you to all of the Castlevania runners for this. Chat, put your kappas and your slash bars together one more time. A lot of great skill put on display here. And reminding you guys that coming up next, we have got a couple of fan favorites, Duckfist and Infested Reesh. He's from the Ludendi or the ESA community, both racing Battle Kid Fortress of Peril. You do not want to miss that. And after that, we're going back to the DOS days. It is Commander Keen 4, 5, and 6. So make sure you stick around. And with that, let's go ahead and head to a few ads, and we'll be right back after this.
back to Awesome Games Done Quick 2015. I am Velociraptor42, your host for the Battle Kid run here. AGDQ is raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation at preventcancer.org. The Prevent Cancer Foundation is the only nonprofit in the United States that solely focuses on cancer prevention and early detection. Each year, more than 1.6 million Americans alone are diagnosed with the disease, and more than 500,000 die from the disease. However, research shows that up to 60% of cases and more than 50% of deaths are preventable with what we now know. The Prevent Cancer Foundation focuses their efforts in research, education, outreach, and advocacy, with over $138 million invested over 29 years. And to tell you a little bit about us, we are Games Done Quick. Awesome Games Done Quick is a Games Done Quick event held every year in January featuring members of the Speed Demos Archive and Speedrun's live communities. SDA proudly hosts speedruns of over 1,000 games with forums containing speedrun planning and marathon discussions. SDA welcomes gamers old and new alike. You can follow them on Twitter at SDA Speedruns and visit their website at speeddemosarchive.com. SRL is the best site to race video games online against other players of all skill levels. They are also hosting a short series of races starting January 17th titled Get Yourself Speedrunning. You can go to their front page, speedrunslive.com, for more information and to watch a variety of speedrun streams.